In this video, let's discuss comparing and ordering decimal numbers. There's the objective. So, the strategy, right off the bat, let's talk strategy. We're going to stack our numbers. So I don't care if we're ordering or comparing. We're going to stack the numbers. We're going to make sure that we line up the decimal points and all of the places. Ones with ones, tenths with tenths, etc. And once we've stacked the numbers, we're going to fill in any empty decimal places with zeros. So that's my strategy, and that's what, as we work through these examples, that's what I'm going to keep coming back to. Stacking and filling in. Alright, so we're going to compare decimal numbers. So, step one is stack them. Whether ordering or comparing, we're going to stack the numbers by lining them up. They both have decimals. That's very convenient. We can line up the decimals, the ones with the ones place, tenths with the tenths, etc. After stacking these numbers, we're going to fill in with any decimal places, we're going to fill in with zeros. Alright, so now they're both the same length. Alright, so starting from the left, moving to the right, that's how we compare numbers. The fives are the same, so that's not going to help us. And then when we look at the decimal portion of the numbers, we could look at it just at the tenths place, but I think it's easy just to look at the numbers. 600, 498. Well, 600 is definitely larger than 498. So 5 and 6 tenths is greater than 5 and 498 thousandths. Just because our decimal number is longer doesn't mean it's the bigger number. So let's order these numbers. First things first, whether we're ordering or comparing, we're going to stack them. Alright, so two of the numbers have decimals. The 3 doesn't have a decimal, but since it's a whole number and it's in the ones place, I need to make sure that it's in the ones place, right along with the 2 and the other 2. Second step, we fill in with zeros. We want to make all of our decimal numbers the same length. Makes it easier to compare. Well, right off the bat, if we start on the left and work to the right, we can see that 3 is going to beat 2 and 2. Alright, so 3 ends up being the largest number of all of them. And then, when we look at the 2's, we can see that the first 2 has 300 on its end, and the second 2 has, well, 9 on its end. So 300 beats 9. So, how would we order this? Well, we put the smallest number, which is the 9, first, and then the 300 comes next, because it was larger. Except I'm not going to put 300. Remember, we just added those zeros to help us. I'm going to put the original number, which is 2 and 3 tenths. And then the largest number of all was the 3, and we'll put him out front. He's the largest. So, in my problems, even though I didn't say which order we're going to put them in, I always go from least to greatest, unless it says something else. Alright, so for example 1, I have already stacked them. So we need to fill in with zeros. The 7's are the same, so we really just need to compare the back ends. 21 versus 200. Well, obviously 200 wins, right? So 7 and 21 thousandths, even though it's longer, is less than 7 and 2 tenths. Alright, first things first, let's line them up. The 9 doesn't have a decimal point, but since it's in the ones place, it's a whole number, I lined them up with the other 9's. We're going to fill in with zeros. All the 9's are the same, so let's just take a look at the hind end. We have 0, 200, 199. Alright, so zeros will come first. That means our plain old 9 is the smallest. 199 will come next. And 200 is the greatest number. 9 and 2 tenths. Again, I don't use the zeros when I write my final answer.